parents and families. My name is Mrs. Phillips, and I'm here to help you have a better understanding of what literacy skills are and the importance literacy skills have on your child's overall education. First, I would like to explain that phonological and phonemic awareness are essential to developing literacy. Phonological awareness is being able to hear, identify, and manipulate the units of sound in our spoken language. What a unit of sound means is the sound that occurs within the word. There are 4 units of sound within a word. First, there are syllables. For example, the word cat has 1 syllable. If you clap it out, you will hear that cat has 1 syllable. Cat. There are onsets. An onset is the first sound heard or seen in a word. For example, the C sound in cat. K. There's a rhyme. Rhyme is the letters and the sound that follows after the onset or first sound. For example, op in the word hop. You can add another onset sound such as p, p to that same rhyme, op, and create a new word, pop. Lastly, there are phonemes. Phonemes are the sound that each letter or cluster of letters makes in our language. For example, cat has 3 phonemes. K, a, t, cat. Phonemic awareness is being able to hear and say the smallest unit of sound within a language. The smallest units of sound are called phonemes. There are 44 phonemes, which can be confusing because there are only 26 letters in the alphabet, and one might think that only each letter in the alphabet makes a sound, but also putting 2 letters together can make a sound. For example, would be the word mat. You hear a, t. Mat has 3 phonemes, and each individual letter makes a sound. In the word sharp, you hear sh, r, p. Sharp has 3 phonemes because sh makes 1 sound, and r makes 1 sound even though each sound has 2 letters. Then there is the p that makes the p sound. So altogether you have sh, sh, r, ar, p, p. Put it together, sharp. Phonological awareness relates to literacy development in young children. Because when children have phonological awareness, they are better able to recognize words that rhyme and have the same beginning sound. For example, if a student is reading a book that has words with the rhyming sound at, like the bat sat on a cat, they will be able to read most of the words in the sentence because majority of the words have the same rhyming sound at. Phonemic awareness relates to literacy development in young children because when children have phonemic awareness, they are better able to blend sounds together, which is one of the skills needed to begin reading. For example, a child opens a book and starts to read and comes to a word they may not know, such as cat. When they know the sound each letter makes, they can sound each letter out and then combine them together. For example, k, a, t, cat. Learning to read starts from the time your child is born. As your child is developing their language, they are also developing their early reading development, which is related to early literacy skills. With print concepts, your child is visually seeing what letters look like and how they are formed, as well as seeing print concepts in the real world, such as traffic signs or items that are labeled. As your child learns the name of letters, they learn how to say them, and they learn how they are formed and can start practicing writing the letters themselves. With letter naming, your child is learning to identify the name of each letter and understand that letters represent sound in our language. When your child understands that letters and sounds connect together, they are better able to apply this knowledge to words they know and may not know, and use this skill to begin reading and strengthening their literacy skills. With vocabulary, your child hears different words every day, and you as a parent can explain what that word means. For example, that is a chair. You use it to sit on. As your child learns and understands the meaning of individual words, they're expanding their vocabulary, and their understanding of what each word means. Therefore, as your child reads and understands what the word means, they'll be better able to comprehend what they're reading overall. With phonological awareness, your child is learning and starting to be able to identify and make rhymes orally and work with syllables. This helps the child be able to decode the print in a book, which is a literacy skill needed for reading. For example, if your child understands the rhyme up and the individual sound each letter makes in the alphabet, you can have them read this book, Hop on Pop by Dr. Seuss, and they'll be able to decode most of the words because they have some phonological awareness. Hop on Pop. Up, pup, pup is up. They have the ending sound up. They know the beginning sound is k. So cup, pup, pup, and cup. Your child starts listening to words as early as infancy. And when listening comes comprehension, which is an understanding of what they heard. As your child hears you read and you ask them what did they hear or understand from the story, this helps them develop their reading development as well as is an important literacy skill, which is listening with a purpose and understanding. With speaking, your child starts off hearing your speaking, then mimics what you say. Then your child learns to say their own thoughts out loud. As you read to them, they're learning the proper way to read a book. As the child learns to speak properly with their thoughts, they can connect that how they speak is related to how they read and start to develop another important literacy skill of being able to read out loud. With comprehension, your child learns to understand what you are saying from an early age. For example, sit in the chair please, or can you go pick up your toys and bring me that ball? As you read to your child, you can ask them questions about what you are reading or what they heard you read. This helps develop their reading development because they will learn that when you read or when someone else is reading, you should be thinking about what is being read, as well as this will strengthen their literacy skills of comprehension. There are many activities you can do with your child to improve their early literacy skills, as well as can be modified to meet the needs of children with exceptional needs. For print concepts, you can have a sheet of paper that has all the letters of the alphabet that are uppercase and lowercase, and have your child trace each, like this. It has A, uppercase, lowercase, and they can trace it with a pencil. Or you can do a sheet of paper that focuses on just tracing one letter at a time. For example, this has B. They practice uppercase B, lowercase b. You can also put sand on a paper plate and have the students trace the letter in the sand with their finger. For children who have exceptional needs, you can place your hand over theirs and have them trace the letters, or you can have the student use their finger and you can guide their finger to trace that letter. For letter naming, you can use flashcards of each letter of the alphabet that has the upper and lowercase on it, as well as a picture that has the same sound as the letter. For example, A has uppercase, lowercase, picture, and apple. You can do the sound too. A is for apple, ah. Or B, uppercase B, lowercase b, and has a picture of a bee. B is for bee, bee. Or C, uppercase C, lowercase c, picture of a cat, cat. For vocabulary, you can play the grocery store game. You and your child can go to the grocery store and tell your child you're going to use certain words for them to find items in the store. For example, find something that is below your nose. The vocabulary word being below, or find something that is above your belly button. The vocabulary word being above. This activity can be modified by having visuals. This means you can have the vocabulary word written out with a picture that is describing the vocabulary word, then having your child do that vocabulary word. For example, here's the word above, and then a picture of the ball above the table. For phonological awareness, you can clap out the syllables with your child as you say the word. For example, you would say, let's clap out the word sunset. Sunset. Then ask your child, how many syllables did you hear? Then have them clap out the syllables for the word. This can be modified by having the child clap the word out with you. And if they are unable to tell you how many syllables, then have them show you with their fingers. Or you can put your hand over theirs and clap it out with them. For listening, you can play the game Simon Says. You can tell the child, if you say, Simon says, touch your nose, then you touch your nose. But if I say, touch your nose without saying Simon Says, then you don't do it. You only do what I say if I say Simon. This can be modified by not using Simon Says and just giving the child simple instructions to follow, such as touch your nose or clap your hands, and model it for the child or use a visual of that action. For speaking, have your child explain with a puppet what their favorite toy is and why. First, you can model with the puppet. You don't need a fancy one. You can just use a plain old sock. My favorite toy is a teddy bear because it is soft. You can hold the puppet in their hand and then explain what their favorite toy is and why. This can be modified by giving your child sentence starters, such as you tell the child to repeat after you. My favorite toy is, then they answer. Because it is, then they answer. Then you can repeat what they said with the sentence starter. Then have them repeat the whole sentence out loud. For comprehension, you can have your child pick a book that they would like to read. Make sure it is at their level and it is a book you have not read before. After you have read the book, ask your child who the characters were, such as certain people or animals, and where did the story happen, like the beach or the park. This can be modified by having the children draw a picture of the characters and the place the story happened. Thank you, parents, for listening to my informational video on literacy skills, and I hope that you have a better understanding of the importance of phonological and phonemic awareness. Now go have some fun with your child with the new activities that you learned from this video today. Bye!